Hello, welcome or welcome back to the YarnNYarns YouTube channel. My name is Angela and all the places you can find me should be linked in the description box below this video. Here on the channel you'll find me chatting about my adventures in knitting, spinning, crochet and weaving, all of the fibre related things. Today's video is my May making plans. How is May even possible? Anyway, let's not get distracted by that straight away. If you're new here to the channel, you may not be aware that I'm someone who likes to have a plethora of works in progress on my needles, hooks, spindles, wheels at any one time, and I can sometimes use that as an excuse to procrastinate. So for the last couple of years I've employed this fun little game of chance to help me try and focus in on a few projects to pick and work on throughout the course of a particular calendar month. I have a multi-sided dice and a set of cards with various prompts on the back. I'm going to roll the dice 4 times and then try to match some projects to the prompts that come up, and yeah, they will become my focus for the month of May. As part of this adventure, over the last couple of months I've added in, thanks to the suggestion of the lovely Beverly, one of our community members here, a new fun element to this where I have asked folks who watch the channel, members of our community, whether they would be interested in picking a project for me as well. So I have got a wheel full of all of the names of the folks that have said they might be interested in picking a project for me, and I'm getting one person each month to choose something for me. And basically the world is this person's oyster. They can choose something from my works in progress list, or they could suggest something for me to cast on. I have a reasonable stash, of yarns and patterns to pick from, but I'm happy to entertain any kind of thoughts, ideas and suggestions for this one. So if someone wants to pick something new and I need to buy some new yarn for it, then I'm completely open to that. So yeah. I'm going to start by drawing the name of the person who's going to be picking my project this month, and then I will message whoever gets chosen, and then I'll come back in a few days' time to do the dice rolling and pick out the rest of the projects. If you are interested in being added to this wheel and picking a project for me in the future, and then by all means do let me know in the comments below. If you have commented in the past to say that you'd like to be on the wheel, you should still be on there, but if you want to be removed for any reason, then please do let me know that as well. To try and get my camera to focus in on my phone, it's worked okay in the last couple of months. The light's a little bit overcast today, which means it's quite bright on the camera. We've got a really grey sort of sky here today in Wales, and it is raining. As per usual, springtime in South Wales in the UK where I live, rain, rain, rain. Anyway, spin the wheel, let's get on with it. Okay, so the wheel has picked Jane, Jane B. I don't think we've got any other Janes on there. So I'm going to get in touch with Jane and see what Jane would like me to work on. And then, depending on how quickly Jane's able to come back to me, I shall be back in the next day or two, and we'll chat about the project that Jane's picked and also roll the dice for the other 4 projects. Okay, so a few days have passed for me, and Jane has very kindly messaged me to let me know her pick for my projects in April. So Jane let me choose between 2 projects, or she gave me a choice of 2 projects that she'd quite like to see me progress. The first one is the Latvian mitts, which we chatted about in last month's making plans. And the second was my Carlina sweater, which is a project that I cast on for our 12 cast-ons this year. And I've actually decided to go with the Latvian mitts. There was a lot of love for this project last month, but the new cast on beat out the Latvian mitts. So I had the YouTube picks prompt in my dice rolls last month, and I asked you to choose between the Latvian mitts, which is my oldest project, and to cast on something new. And cast on something new won with a landslide. But yeah, as I say, there was lots of love for the Latvian mitts. So I'm going to pull these out of deep hibernation and I'm going to be working on these this month. Now my aim is, it's quite a slow project because there are 4 colours in a lot of the rows and it's just not the most fun thing for me to knit on just because it's so slow and I have to concentrate a lot because the chart is quite complex, as you can probably see from the colour work. It's all over colour work. But, whoops, I keep dropping these. I know these will be stunning once they are finished. So I'm going to aim to try and get at least the first mitt finished this month. I'm more than halfway through the chart, I think. Yeah, way more than halfway through the chart. So I think setting myself the goal of getting through that first mitt should be doable. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to set myself a small goal, and if I can surpass that, then fabulous. We shall see what happens. And I'm going to roll the dice now for my other 4 projects, and if there's any way I can work the Carlina in so I get both of Jane's picks, then I will, but we'll see what the dice has in store for us. So let's get to rolling.
Dreams aren't meant to be broken.
Okay, so that was a really fun set of rolls, and I don't think we have yet had any of these prompts come up this year, so I think this is a first time for all of them. And there's one very specific project and then 3 more that will be a little bit more generalised. So let's start with the very specific project, and that was roll number 1. And on the back of this, I thought it'd be fun, when I set out my prompts, I thought it would be fun to put a very specific project on one of these cards. And I figured that once I hit this roll, I could then swap this out. These are all just added on sticky notes. So now that I've rolled this one, I will replace this for next month, and if it comes up, it'll have an entirely different random project on there. So I have picked on this one my McCare shawl. Now I'm going to get into the realms of trying to pronounce this properly. I'll put the name of the pattern up on the screen, and I know a couple of people have told me in the past how to pronounce it, but you know how you have those mental blocks on some things? It just won't stick in my head for some reason. Anyway, let me grab this shawl out of my works in progress pile from behind me. So my McCare is living in this really fun project bag with these seagulls in sweaters on. That was a kind gift from Susan. So hi Susan, if you're watching, thank you for the lovely project bag. Last year I purchased very little yarn. I have been trying to do that for the last couple of years because I've got a lot of things in my stash and I'm trying to work through a lot of the things that I own. But I've always been curious about trying the Berlin company yarn, and Berlin are a small producer based in, I think they're in the Hebrides, although I could be wrong. They had a sale at some point last year for this beautiful shawl kit, and I decided to buy the kit. It's a couple of balls of yarn and the pattern, and surprise surprise, I picked this lovely kind of rusty orange colourway, which is called Moor, I think, although that could be the yarn base. Oh, I'm not doing a very good job of introducing this project, am I? But let's say it's the Moor colourway. I cast it on straight away because my ethos last year was if I did buy anything, I wanted to get it on the needles pretty quickly. And I made some good progress. It's quite a fun shawl with some stockinette sections, there's some bobbles and there's some lace as well. And I made a reasonable start on this project, and then other things just got in the way, and of course it got put to one side and it's now sat languishing, and for some reason I cut the yarn. Don't know why I did that, but I did. So I'll have to join the yarn back in. Not sure, maybe I just accidentally broke it at some point, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't really matter, does it? So yeah, I'm going to carry on with this. It's, as far as I can remember, quite a soothing pattern repeat. Yeah, I've got all of my instructions scribbled out here of where I need to go and what I need to do to complete this shawl. Yeah, I just need to keep working away on that and see how far we get through the month. And I've just noticed on the ball band of this yarn, it does say that it's from the Hebrides, so I was correct in my thinking for that. So it's going to be fun to get back to this one, and it's probably not going to be too much work to actually get this finished, so we'll see. I'm not going to put any big demands on myself for the month of May. We've got quite a busy month coming up in terms of family stuff. James's sister is coming over. She lives in New Zealand. She's coming over for a few weeks, so we shall be peppering in a family trip and a family visit. They're coming here and then we're going away for a few days, so I'm not sure how that's going to affect my making time. But that's project number one. Now the next 3 prompts will all involve me doing a little bit of thinking to decide what I want to work on. So I'm going to just pull up my Ravelry projects on my phone so I know what I'm choosing from, and we shall have a look and see where we go. So in no particular order, I've got prompt number 14, and on the back of that it says almost finished. So the idea is to pick up something that's very close to being finished, almost finished. And this could be quite tricky to choose right now because I'm recording this with a few days left in April, and I've got a couple of projects that are really on the verge of being finished. And I'm not sure yet whether I will actually manage to get them finished before the beginning of May ticks around, or whether I'm going to run out of time. So I've been working on my Scrap Bucket bag this month. That's fairly close to being finished. I've got my Dappled Light shawl, which only has a couple of rows left, so that's really close to being finished. They're the 2 things that I'm working on at the moment that are really close to being finished, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to get those done. I've got a few other things that are on the needles that are, you know, reasonably close, or could conceivably get finished in the next month. I'm thinking of my Ripple camisole. I got through the sort of main body, the sort of ribbed tube of that, and I've just got the top shaping on that to do, so that in theory should be a fairly quick finish. I've got my litmus cowl, which I managed to get half of it done the other month, so there's no reason I couldn't get the other half done within a month. And I've also got my 3 pairs of socks, my Selby socks, my Draft socks and my gingerbread socks. They're all possibilities for getting finished. So what I think I might do with that one is actually leave it and play it by ear as we go through the month. I'll wait and see whether I get either my Scrap Bucket or my handspun shawl finished in the next few days. If I don't, I shall carry one or both of those over, and I might actually use that prompt as an excuse, depending on how much crafting time I get, to pick up the thing that's almost finished. And then if I get that finished, I could then pick up the next thing that's almost finished and sort of cascade like that. So I think I'm going to leave that one open for now, and we'll see what the next few days bring. So yeah, I think that's the best thing to do for that prompt. So to be confirmed. So the next prompt I've got is number 12, and on the back of that is orange, and that's to pick anything that contains my favourite colour. And again, I've got plenty of contenders on the needles that I could pick for that project. Let's have a quick run through and see how many of my projects contain orange. So I've got my Mid-Coast sweater, my gingerbread socks, my Scrap Bucket has got orange in it, my Sun Gazer, that features some orange fibre, that would be more spinning than knitting. I've got my Brenier sweater, that's orange. I've got Let the Good Times Roll, that contains orange. My Wildflower shawl, the Macaire Wildflower shawl, which I've already picked, is obviously orange based. I've got my Love Note spin, that's orange, and then my Selbo socks and my Draft print socks, they've both got a bit of orange in as well. My mitts have got orange, so yeah, pretty much 80% of my projects have contained some sort of orange. I think I'm going to stretch the definition a little bit, and I am going to pick up the second project that Jane was interested in seeing me working on, and that's my Carlina. I'm using this beautiful yarn that was dyed for me by Attic Spin Dye. It was a very, very kind gift, and this is the Angie's Foxy Mix colourway, and this definitely has hints of orange in it. Overall, to me, it does read orange, but it's got browns in it, it's got yellows in it. So yeah, there's definitely sort of all different tones in here. So I'm going to pick this one, the Carlina, for my orange project this month, and I shall be able to hopefully have the opportunity to work on this one again. And I was really excited about how this colour work was working out with my handspun yarn, which is a sort of really deep purple gradient from Fibre from Hilltop Cloud, paired with this beautiful non-superwash, it's a Peruvian Highlands wool from Attic Spin Dye. Look, oh, it's just glorious, just absolutely glorious. So yeah, that's going to be my pick for orange for sure, Carlina. So that way I get to hopefully work on both of the projects that Jane was interested in as well. I get to work that second one in through the dice rolls. And then the final prompt was number 8, and on the back of that it says 23 in 23. Before I pick my project and explain a little bit more about this prompt, I want to say a big thank you once again to Simone, who provided these absolutely beautiful, beautiful cards for me, to which I've added my little sticky notes with the prompts on the back. So I will link Simone's channel as always down in the description box. Simone does mostly journaling and planning videos at the moment. She has in the past popped up a few sort of knitting videos, but she hasn't done one of those for a while. But she very kindly gifted me that set of cards, and they're just so stunning. So yeah, once again, thank you to Simone for facilitating the fun of the dice game. So 23 in 23 is a reference to a make-along that I'm participating in, run by Tracy of The Passionate Spinner, and I shall link Tracy's channel as well. And the idea is to try and finish 23 of your ongoing projects this year. So the only criteria is they have to have been started before the 1st of January this year, 2023. And so I need to go through and pick one of my older projects for that. So I'm going to pick, I've had a quick flick through my older works in progress, and actually I think I am going to pick my Litmus Cowl. Based on what I've already mentioned earlier on in this video, there's going to be a fair bit of family time this month coming up. A project which will allow me to do a bit of just easy knitting while I'm in company, I think will be just the thing that I need. So the last time I worked on this, which must have been, where are we? March maybe? I managed to finish one of my colour repeats. I'm aiming for 2 colour repeats to complete a double wrap cowl. And yeah, at this point it's just a tube of stockinette round and round knitting. I'm using handspun yarns for this, they're all my handspuns. This definitely would count for the 23 in 23 because I started it as part of our 2021 12 cast-ons, where I started spinning up the yarn for that. So yeah, Litmus Cowl. And as I mentioned earlier, I think there's a possibility that with a little bit of effort on my part I will be able to get that finished. We'll see. I'm not going to speak too soon. So there we go. Those are the projects that I shall be working on. I'm also going to be trying to slip in a little bit of extra colour work with my mitten garland as well. That's always a kind of ongoing in the background project. So yes, I shall be working on my Latvian mitts, my Litmus Cowl, my Carlina sweater, my shawl, and an as yet to be determined almost finished project. Do let me know in the comments below whether you have projects that you're hoping to focus on during the month of May. I know some of you out there like to join in with these prompts. These ones might be a little bit trickier for some folks out there because not everyone will be participating in 23 in 23. So I would say if you're not participating in 23 in 23, then maybe as an alternative for that prompt you could pick something that you cast on before the start of this year, if you have something like that. If not, if you're pretty much up to date, then maybe you could just pick your oldest work in progress. For orange, if you're not an orange lover like me, maybe you could substitute in something with your favourite colour. That would be an easy way to substitute something for that one. Almost finished is fairly self-explanatory. Just pick your project which is closest to being completed. And then for my prompt number 1, where I picked a very specific project, you could just do a random number generator perhaps, or get someone else to pick a specific project for you to work on this month. So I think all of them will be substitutable somehow, even if you can't match the prompts exactly. So yes, let me know in the comments if you're playing along what you've picked, or what you'll be concentrating on in the upcoming month. I would love to hear from you. I love to be inspired by all of the things that you're working on and to chat all things making with you. So if you're not picking specific focuses for the next month for your crafting, just say hi in the comments. Okay, that's everything from me today. So I'm going to wrap this up. I shall be back soon with some more making content. So I hope you will join me for the next video. But until we do get to spend time together again, I hope you get to do some of the things that you enjoy. Great big woolly hugs to you all. Bye for now. Bye.